here with Sabrina Elba, and we're going to be talking all things beauty, Sable Labs, my faves, and just getting into your secrets, because I know that you must have a few beauty secrets that you're ready to share with us.
Oh my gosh, well I have tried and tested quite a few, so I'm here to spill all the beans.
Okay, so first things first, let's talk about, I guess, the new release from Sable Labs, because
I can't believe it's finally out. We've been mixing in the kitchen. This product has so much heart and passion behind it. I had like such a fun experience with Okra. So Okra, you probably all know, is like the food ingredient.
I'm just thinking gooey. Straight away I'm thinking gooey.
Slimy, gooey. When I married Idris, his mother-in-law was very adamant that I cook a good okra stew.
Okay.
He loves okra stew. Okra is also popular in East African cuisine, but it's more of like a drier. We don't have the slime. We put it in a pasta sauce even. Like
oh, I need to try this version because the slimy is not for me.
Oh, see, I think the slimy is not for me. But because I grew up with the East African style of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then now I know how to make both, okay? So I remember sitting and thinking like, this is such a great texture. I wonder if it's good for skin. Lo and behold, it is fantastic for skin. Like, I feel like people don't give it enough credit. Now Okra's worked very hard for us. Okra is coming out to get its moment to shine. But we found that not only is it a powerful antioxidant, but it also has a natural Botox-like effect. So it decreases muscular like contractions at the cellular level.
Yeah, we need
and it gets better over 3 weeks. Like talk about natural Botox, like I feel like that's such a trend. But
yeah,
this is actually doing it. Yeah, this is actually doing it, which is amazing. But we've also combined it with the retinol, and it's our first time using retinol in our range.
Oh my goodness. Because
the range really focuses on not using sensitizing ingredients, it was so important that we find a retinol that isn't irritating, that can be used AM, PM, that has a really quick conversion, is bioavailable, and it's the perfect one. You are the first person to try it on that sample run that we did. I know.
And I loved it. I messaged Sabrina, I was like, Sabrina, I need a restock. She's like, we've changed, it's reiterated, you'll get the newest one. I'm like,
I wanted to get the texture really right, because you kind of lose the consistency of the okra as you're formulating it, and I wanted to keep as much of it in as we could. So it's been through a few more stages, but I loved your feedback and like just hearing also from like community, just knowing like what people think about the product early on, because we try it for months and you kind of get like stuck in it.
It's not the fresh eyes anymore.
It's not the fresh eyes anymore. So I'm so excited for you to try it. It's combined with African resurrection plant, which you probably know.
Okay.
I know, which is like basically like an African tumbleweed. Yeah. I can't even describe it as anything other than that. But if it gets a drop of water, like even after 2 years of being super deprived, it will come back to life, and it actually blossoms green again, which is amazing. Over 4 hours. It doesn't just happen like months later. Like it gets water, 4 hours later, it looks like it's a fresh green bush.
That's what we need for the skin.
And it has the highest levels of antioxidants on the whole continent.
Is it not crazy that there's these amazing natural resources that just brands have just ignored for so long?
But also don't get their moment to shine. Like I think it was one of the reasons we're so passionate about African botanicals and highlighting a beauty. It's because these ingredients get like appropriated in a way. You find them in Whole Foods or in Erewhon, and it's like a trendy, buzzy shot. And people forget that they have ancestral traditions behind them and history and real strength. But then we combine them with the science on top of that to really boost their effects. And antioxidants, which a lot of them are full of, are a huge step to us when we're preventing hyperpigmentation.
Absolutely.
Because inflammation is the precursor. And people forget that.
You need to avoid that inflammation every day.
You need to avoid irritation. So not only do we take out fragrances and drying alcohols, but using antioxidants is one of the first steps in our hyperprevent technology. So I'm so excited about this one. It's also got an amazing blend of non-comedogenic oils, really good African oils.
Music to my ears.
Baobab, marula, moringa. Oh, it's so good. You need to feel this. So it comes in this gorgeous little airless pump.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Oh,
no, I love.
Can you tell it's a bit different?
I can feel the difference from the testers that I have, the lab samples.
It's grown up. It was like a little baby.
It still smells so good. It's got that like Sable Labs smell.
That earthy smell.
Yeah,
and because we don't use fragrance, we're always so nervous about what smell's gonna end up.
Oh no, it's honestly, look at this on my skin.
And look at that immediate shine.
Just the glow. Okay, so you said that you can use this AM and PM. Should people use it both AM and PM, or it's suitable for morning or evening? Like, where
I use it AM and PM. Okay. But I always tell people to be intuitive with your skin.
1000%.
Your skin will tell you when it's not happy.
Yeah.
It's a very, very good retinol for people who are starting out.
Okay.
I haven't heard that anyone's irritated by it. So I am so excited for people to kind of change their conceptions of retinol and be able to use this all the time. I've actually used it more than AM and PM, but
I love that.
To each their own.
This is really exciting though, especially like you said, for a lot of people that are new to retinol. It's quite like a scary part of the skincare routine.
It was a tumultuous journey for me. I was on tons of prescription retinols. I did tretinoin. I did Epiduo, and my skin barrier always felt like it was falling off my face. Like, every single time. I got to the point where I couldn't even do facials because the friction of the massage and the cotton pads was enough to get me irritated and sometimes scabbed.
Oh God, no, that's just insane.
How did I get to that point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm so excited about this retinol. I feel like it's going to be the next gen revolutionary piece in a lot of brands, and we already see other brands looking. And
of course, they're always watching.
We have the clinical results in from the serum as well. 120% reduction in hyperpigmentation.
Oh my God,
120%. I haven't seen that anywhere.
No.
88% increase in like brightness. I mean,
as you can see straight away, there's immediate brightening of the skin.
In our hyper prevent kind of model, this is the strongest product you can use against hyperpigmentation. Yeah. So we're always telling people, if that's an issue for you, this is going to be your like gun in your arsenal, or
absolutely
your weapon in your arsenal.
You need this
Not
one.
gun. We don't like guns.
The finish is absolutely gorgeous on the skin. It's so hydrating
and still dries.
It's so nice.
I think people load products with silicones, and you know, but I mean, like brands will load products with silicones, so we think that that sticky texture is actually doing something for our skin, but it's not. It's just an element of like a perception, right?
Yes. It feels like it's there.
It feels like it's there. But we don't use any silicones, you know, this is all just real moisture.
This is like my little hack at the moment, by the way. I'm probably going to give someone a heart attack in this room saying this. I'm not using moisturizer in the evening. And I really feel like this would be perfect for me as my final step.
Absolutely.
Because it does feel moisturizing enough to kind of carry the load.
Yeah, I still love putting like emollient on top to kind of seal everything in. Yeah. But if you didn't want to, you don't have to. And sometimes we forget during the day on like summer days when you're putting a sunscreen on top as well. Yes. What's in your sunscreen that might be then contributing that it feels way too much when you've got all three on, right?
Clogging,
exactly. Yeah. So sometimes it is good in the summer to keep it light. Because you're going to have to use the SPF, maybe you don't need the moisturizer, and I think the serum is a really good go-between. You get the deeper penetration, right, in a serum.
And the actives.
And the actives.
This is the one thing I don't want to skip out on that stage, because that's where all the goodness is, especially overnight, like the regenerating, the hyperpigmentation, having like a beautiful serum that's like going to hydrate and get in there. I'm like, oh! I'm so excited to get into this.
I love actually spraying the toner and then using it, because while your skin is damp, you'll get more efficacy from anything you're using.
Love the toner.
I love the toner as well.
I'm so happy that you guys did the toner and also the micellar water with a mist.
Oh, I know. But we were so picky about the mist.
This is a game changer. Like, why is not everyone doing this?
Have seen this mist, but I was like, it needs to be fine.
Yes.
Like, so fine. I hate droplets from a mist.
When you can see it on your face as well, and you're like, why? Who thought of this?
There's a makeup setter that I use all the time. You probably know which one I'm talking about. And every time, like, why do I do this to myself? I feel there's like one big drop here.
And you try and go as far away as possible, and still you end up with a droplet.
And then you're like, did it even go on my face if I put it that far away?
I know.
It's a struggle. And you're right, the micellar water is in the mist as well.
I love the mist.
It actually gets like this kind of powered oxygen boost as it's coming out. I think with the micellar water, just for it to foam up. Yeah.
Oh, love. Really nice. Everyone knows. One thing about me, I'm gonna go chemical peel, honey. Like, I love a treatment. I love being in the chair with an esthetician. Obviously, you're in training, so you can tell
I'm done.
Congratulations!
I graduated. I'm an esthetician and actually gave a facial this morning. I know.
So qualified queen.
I'll have to do this for you one time.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Okay, so you can tell me about your favorite treatments to provide, your favorite treatments to receive, like, what's kind of your
I think it's interesting that you said chemical peel. Personally, I've been too scared to try a chemical. I know they're getting so much better.
They definitely are. And they're still scary.
They are super scary for me, for someone who's had super like traumatized skin for so long. But it is something I want to try eventually. I am learning about it at the moment and looking at different products.
Amazing.
Dabbling my fingers, but I still think like getting a hydrodermy facial, something like that, is still just really good maintenance. Like, I think we think every time we get into a chair or in a bed that we need to do something quite harsh, but sometimes consistency is better than anything else. So just maintaining a consistent skincare routine where your skin barrier is healthy is going to be better than trying to put in a solution. Extract. 100%, because I think those solutions are kind of always our last resort. You've gotten to a point where you're like, and then you're, what can I do now?
This is it, the SOS facial.
The SOS facial. Skincare should be about well-being as well.
Absolutely.
And as you're doing the massage and your techniques, I feel like you are transferring like energy. If you feel good, your patient will feel, or your client will feel good.
Absolutely.
And then they can leave and do good. And I'm like, oh,
people forget this. Like, you go in, they take all your makeup off, that's when you probably feel your most confident, right? Like, you've made yourself up, you feel good, and they kind of wipe away those layers, and they're seeing what you can't see. Like, you're getting your pores, you're seeing everything. It's such a vulnerable position to be in.
It's taken me a lot to get used to as well. You realize that there's so much on the face.
Oh god, I can just imagine.
Yeah,
regions and zones of breakouts and different textures.
Absolutely, and seeing it with a magnifying glass. Like, now I look at my skin differently. I'm just, you know what I mean? But it was so informative for me. It also was a really great way to unlearn a lot of marketing, because I was so surprised, like, oh really, that doesn't work? Oh really? Like, we have so much marketing in us and don't realize, because we've been seeing these messages our whole lives.
Absolutely.
And forgetting that most of the time it's just to support the bottom line of a business. But PRP is something that you brought up.
Yes, I was talking about PRP. This is something I want to try. So for those of you who don't know, kind of probably seen Kim Kardashian do like the vampire facial. That's kind of how it got really popular. But essentially, blood is drawn, it goes through a little cellulose experience, I would say, when it separates, and then they use the cells to reapply to the face, but actually also for hair. So I've seen a lot of people getting it for like traction alopecia and things like that. Do you want to tell us
so they
about
actually take the plasma away from the sort of like the red
blood
cells. Yeah, but plasma is full of amazing benefits, right? So it absolutely does have a benefit when you're re-injecting plasma into the skin and the hair. You will see growth. I tried it for quite a while. I've got really fine edges. I didn't see the change that I wanted personally.
Yeah.
So I do think, sometimes we have very high expectations for things.
Especially when it's expensive. Like, this is a really expensive treatment.
But you have to remember there's so many other contributing factors. You can never do a treatment in silo. There always has to be a holistic approach. What are you eating at the same time?
Yeah.
What supplements are you taking? What's your stress level? Is there a genetic factor that you're not looking at?
Oh god.
So
there's too many factors.
There's a lot of factors. So I think, I don't know what it was in my situation at that time. So I will never say PRP doesn't work. And I probably will try it again because we are girls and we always go back.
We always dabble.
We always go back. But I just don't want people to have like super high expectations. When
like, it's only my experience.
Yeah.
And it's so hard because, like you said, there's so many other factors that come into this that.
Oh, it's so true. I mean, people will say to me all the time, like, I use like hydroquinone and I use this, and I'm like, oh my god, my skin could never.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, how do you do that?
A strong ass barrier.
You have a strong barrier. So people have to remember that, like, if someone uses something and it feels like it's too strong for you, that's okay. It might work for them but not work for you.
And I remember you said something earlier, I'm not sure if we put it on camera, about skincare being intuitive, and this is something that is so important that I don't find a lot of people talking about. So when I heard you say it, I was like, oh my god, thank god she's saying this.
It's so funny how
skin cycling. How do you feel about this trend? Because I'll be honest, I am anti it. It's one of my things that I cannot stand. Because of the skin intuitiveness, we're completely ripped away from this. So if you don't know, skin cycling is kind of the process where you kind of have a calendar and you break it down and be like, okay, Monday is going to be my exfoliating day, Tuesday is going to be my retinol day, Wednesday is going to be barrier repair, Thursday, etc., etc. The concept of it, to me, feels great because it's introducing people to different stages in their skincare routine.
But you'll be ignoring what
your skin is saying, which is why I'm like, I don't know if I like this.
No, just talking about, I think it's true. I think to put something so sort of dumbed down in that way, it's never gonna work. There's not a one-size-fits-all skin.
Yeah.
It's just impossible. Unfortunately, you always have to kind of watch out for your skin. I was speaking to someone earlier today who reminded me that her seeing texture on her skin is one of her first signs that her skin barrier needs help. And it's those little signs that you need to pick up on and watch out for. We know ourselves better than anyone else.
Absolutely.
Like, if you have gotten, you just did your face, you put your moisturizer on and it's burning and it hasn't burned. Red flag. The types of flags you need to watch out for. Like, your skin does need a break sometimes, we do so much. We pile on actives and we become chemists using single ingredient formulations, mixing everything up together and then applying it on our face. A huge part of our brand was to just simplify that. Let the chemists do it, and inclusions that make sense, combine actives that really work together, and take care of it. So we don't have to then go and mix a bit of glycolic here and a little bit of that. And
there's one brand in particular that the girlies know that I hate because of this. Like, I don't really dislike any brand, but there's one particular brand because of this, and I think that this whole playing chemist at home thing is so dangerous.
So dangerous.
For people of all ages. I mean, I know that there's like a big push at the moment around like young people and like a lot of young people trying these products, but it doesn't matter. Like,
well, a retailer in the UK just banned customers under 12.
Praise the Lord.
So, you know, people are starting to see that it's
so
your
dangerous.
skin is so thin when you're that age.
Oh my gosh.
And it's just, I can't even, I mean, I was using Smacker's lip gloss.
Yes! I had this conversation today. I was like, I was always obsessed with beauty, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
When it's creative and fun.
Yeah.
When you're using strong actives and your skin is not ready for it at such a young age, I just think it's so scary.
You're taking vitamin E, or I'm sorry, vitamin A.
No.
And on your, like, I just, you're 11. Calm down. So funny, like just watching young children spend that much.
No.
I mean, and then that was the other thing. Like, we always wanted our prices to be accessible because skincare can be so expensive.
So stinking expensive.
Especially
unnecessarily.
And necessarily, exactly. Sometimes you have to remember, what are you paying for? Is it the packaging? Is it the ambassadors? You know, because skincare ingredients generally do cost the same. And there's only a couple skincare ingredients that really do work. So if you're benchmarking from an ingredient perspective and you see the inclusions are the same, you should ask these questions. Why does that one cost that much more? Because it shouldn't. This is a family business. We didn't white label. We created this brand out of passion. I created it because I genuinely was frustrated. With the space, with the wellness space, and with the beauty space, because of these marketing lines, because of the extortionate prices for people with melanin-rich skin. When actually, when you formulate for melanin-rich skin first, it's better for everyone.
Who'd have thought it, right?
Right?
If you start from inclusion, it actually just includes everyone.
And I get really frustrated when people go, oh, it's black owned, it's for black skin, but I'll buy it because I want to buy black owned. I'm like, no. Stop right there.
You're missing the point.
You're missing the point. Buy black owned because it's better. We are the experts in hyperpigmentation. We have been dealing with hyperpigmentation, post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation for a long time. So we are the frustrated ones giving everyone else the
my God, honestly.
And I want people to look to us as the experts. And that's slowly changing, but I have that conversation all the time. Especially when you put a black founder's picture somewhere, then people start to think, oh, it's only for people that look like her. I do feel part of that comes from the retailer. Because when you think generally, bigger retailers have taken black products, put them in a separate aisle. So if you're coming in and if you don't have melanin-rich skin, the retailer is literally telling you that's not for you.
Absolutely.
That is for a separate aisle of people, and this is your region. You can't even blame people. It's like we have to unlearn these things, right?
Oh my gosh, yes, 1000%. One thing I will quickly say is as well, I love skincare. Everyone knows, obviously, I love shopping for skincare. One thing that I love that you guys did was make a discovery kit. I think this is such an important way for people to discover and learn about brands. Do you want to tell us a bit more about how you kind of come to the conclusion of making a discovery kit? Like, was it something that was like, oh, I don't know if this is like cost efficient to do? I don't know how these kind of things work.
I love a discovery kit because I love to I travel a lot, right? And I needed smaller sizes for my bag, but it's also such a great experience and entry into a brand. We've always said that our core collection is enough in and of its own. You've got all the actives in there, you've got the hyper prevent system, you can use the core collection and feel good. So people buying into the brand get to experience our range in its entirety. Do you know what I mean? Because you get to experience all the benefits of what Sable Labs really wants to do for the skin. And then you can add a micellar water if you want to do double cleanses. You can add the mask for once-a-week exfoliation. And now our serum is a really serious skincare piece.
Incredible. I mean, I have been talking about the brand since you guys launched. I love it. Cannot wait to hear what everyone thinks.
And we love you. Thank you so much.
Oh, of course. Thank you.
I really do like her.
Oh, guys.
Let's go.